Hello, I am sexologist, sex and dating coach Dr. Uttam, and I welcome all Gen Z guys to my video called 7 Things Women Expect on a First Date. So, you've managed to convince a girl to go out with you on a first date, and now it's your duty as a guy to impress her on the first date so she agrees to meet you subsequently. So, what are the 7 things that women expect on a first date which every Gen Z guy should know and should follow it diligently to be successful on the first date? So let's begin. Point number 1, go the extra mile or two. Go the extra mile in the sense do whatever you can. If you greet her with a red rose and a smile, you are sure to get a warm response. Now, you may be thinking that greeting a girl with a red rose is ancient or it is antediluvian. Let me tell you, it's not. Because even in this time and age, flower is something which every girl likes. And do you actually know what are flowers? Flowers are actually the reproductive organs of a plant. And I'm going to share a very big secret with you as well. Many women orgasm when they actually see a flower. Please don't tell this to her. Okay, now I'm going to continue further. If you already know some details about this woman, use the information to your advantage. If her favorite color is purple, give her a purple flower. Or you can also give her something which is purple in color. Now, how do you think so this will help? This will actually personalize the gift which you are giving to her, and she is more likely to be convinced that you have taken some steps to impress her. Okay, now let's go further. Point number 2, be polite and not pushy. This is very, very important. No matter how modern the girl may look, or no matter how modern the girl may talk, this is something very, very important for every girl. She may not tell you that etiquette is a priority, but you can be sure that she's keeping an eye on what you are, and perhaps more important, what you aren't doing. Because women are very, very observant and they're observing all your micro movements, so be very, very careful about what you say and what you do. It's the little details that make the difference, like chewing with your mouth closed. Women are much, much more picky about manners than are men. For example, if you are with a group of your male friends, you might eat in the way you want and nobody really cares. But if you're somebody with a if you're somebody I mean if you're someone with the opposite sex, these things really matter to them, so you be very, very careful. Do offer to open the door for her, but if she insists on doing it herself, let her. Now, again, you may think that these so called, customs or rituals are very, very outdated and they don't hold good for the 21st century. But let me tell you something, women simply love being taken care of in this way, and so you can always continue doing it. And keep the conversation polite as well. Now, this is very, very important that your language be refined and not something which is impolite, otherwise, this will definitely put her off. Now, coming to the third point, be complimentary. Many men forget to notice and compliment their date on her appearance. There must be something about her outfit, her hair, or the way she smells that you like. You can rest assured that she spent a good portion of her time primping and preparing for this first date, and it's important that you acknowledge her efforts. See, for a guy, it's very easy. You may just wear a pair of jeans, a good t-shirt, wear perfume, shave, uh, probably shave your armpit hair, or probably shave your pubic hair, and then you are done, right? You don't need to do anything more than that. But when a girl prepares for a date, she has to do many things. Like, for example, she has to select a dress which is suitable for the occasion. She'll have to do her hair, or she'll have to wear a perfume which matches her personality. So you should be appreciative of those things, and she would also like it. Point number 4, be curious about her. You're nervous and trying to make sure that she thinks you're better than the last guy who showed up at her door. The result can often be you talking about all the things you've accomplished while neglecting to ask her about her interests. Your intentions might be to keep the conversation flowing, but a monologue actually makes for a more uncomfortable evening than a few awkward pauses. So be sure to ask her about herself. Just don't turn it into an interview. Now this is very important that there has to be a ping pong conversation. A ping pong conversation is a conversation which revolves around a man and a woman, and both of them are talking simultaneously about each other. Sometimes what happens, as I mentioned earlier, that in the whole process you are just talking and she's just listening, and that becomes a one-sided conversation which no girl likes. So just to make sure that you also do ask her about her interests. And something which I always warn all Gen Z guys is not to just have one intention behind the first date, and that is to take her to your bed. That comes much later, but you have to be genuinely interested in the girl whom you are dating. Point number 5, be assertive, not aggressive. It is important that you show her you're confident. It's also important not to blur the line between being assertive and being aggressive while interacting with her, as well as with those who might even prove to be allies on your first date, which might be the waiter. When dealing with your waiter, she'd prefer you to be courteous. Now it's very important, that when you are going out on a date with a girl, she's not only looking at the way you are interacting with her, she's also looking at the way you are interacting with other people around her. So this indirectly tells her that if you misbehave with somebody else, you're likely to misbehave with her in future, and that is how she relates the two behaviors. So please make sure that you're also courteous with everybody around you during that date. Point number 6, always have a backup plan. If the plans you made unravel at the last moment, relax. You can always rely on plan B to make the most of what might have been a wasted night. She'll either be impressed by your on the spot creativity or glowing at the thought of you considering a just in case scenario for your date. It doesn't have to be overly extravagant, just make sure you have some other ideas in the event the night doesn't come together exactly as planned. From ice skating to salsa dancing to coffee drinking, any backup option is better than no option at all. Now, let me tell you something. If you think that if plan A does not work, we'll think something then and there. It doesn't always work that way, because if you're going out on a date on a weekend, most of the places are very crowded. Let me tell you that. And a first date is not the time when you want to create a poor impression about you in the eyes of somebody else. So always have plan A, plan B, and plan C ready. Let's say your first plan was of a coffee shop. The coffee shop is damn crowded and they're making you wait for 45 minutes to 1 hour. You're losing that time and that girl is losing interest in you. So go for option B, which might be to a nearby organic restaurant or an ice cream parlor or something like that. Even if that doesn't work out, maybe a walk on the beach or something like that. So have at least 3 plans ready, so one after another you're working at least one of them, and this will give her an impression that you have planned for the date. Point number 7, leave her impressed. The evening seems to be coming to a close. It's time to pull that proverbial ace from up your sleeve. You want to leave her with a lasting impression about what a wonderful time she had and how lucky she was to spend it with you. Seeing her to her door may likely get you further than the front door, but give her the option to welcome you in by taking it one step at a time. Now, there are several scenarios that can happen. So, for example, if you're dropping her back home, one thing that can happen is you might kiss each other goodbye. That is one thing. Secondly, she might invite you to her home, and then you may have coffee or a drink. And the third scenario may be that you indulge in light petting with each other. Fourth scenario could be that you indulge in each other with heavy petting, and finally the last scenario could be you both end up in bed. Now this is something which can only be decided by the two of you, but as a first step, please always wait for her to give you an invitation about what she wants. Don't force yourself on her or don't impose your decision on her, right? So that will end the date on a very positive note. So I hope that this video of mine will be very helpful to Gen Z guys, and all the best to you guys.